Hi there everyone, Happy New Year! I hope everyone's had a happy and safe holiday period so far. This Friday I am getting back into my regular Friday blog post. I was very slack with this Friday blog post the past couple of months, so I apologise for that. Been doing a lot of replanning, restructuring, figuring out my direction for my author platform and my blog and all that sort of thing. But the good news is that I've put some wonderful new plans in place for 2017, and I'm really looking forward to getting back into doing more blogging. My blog is definitely going to be focused this year onwards on helping authors, giving authors advice and tools and resources, but I'll also be blogging on a separate page about my personal book releases and all that wonderful news from my end when those sorts of things are coming out. But those details of those new blogs I'll be talking about them when I've got them all set up. So today what I wanted to do was I just wanted to do a little bit of a reflection on the last 12 months. So the last 12 months I've experienced a lot of growth as an independent author, and I just sort of wanted to reflect on that going into the new year. So a couple of days ago, I received a notification on Facebook about where I was on this particular day 12 months ago. So I've got that application enabled on my Facebook account, and it was quite humorous because it was the post or the rant more so that I posted in the middle of trying to learn and figure out how to use the CreateSpace and Kindle systems. I was trying to learn how to use them and trying to publish my books through them at the same time. So I was trying to learn about them and trying to use them at the same time, which was a huge mistake. I was so excited and so keen to get my books out published again that I was really sort of pushing myself and rushing through that process. And I look back now and see that I really needed to take a little bit more time to just allow myself to learn this new system, because it was very much like learning a new language. And now I know the systems very well. I publish paperback books and ebooks with ease now these days, with the formatting and all that sort of thing, and creating book covers, and that's definitely something that I want to talk about more this year in my blog posts and help other people to learn how to do it. And my goal with educating other authors and putting these resources out there for them is to try and make their journey with publishing just that little bit easier than it was for me. That's always been my goal. So that's definitely what's going to be happening this year. That's where I was about this time last year. Early February, I think it was February 8th, I released my short story collection, The New Neighbours. Here I am, I've really forgotten the name of the title. The New Neighbours was released on February 8th, 2016, which was really exciting. I didn't actually hold a launch for that book until April, and that launch, as many of you will probably remember, wasn't a purely online launch where I did a series of videos where I was reading excerpts from the books, and I also had other guest authors come onto my blog and post a little bit about themselves and their books, and I shared a whole lot about those books. It was a really big effort, but yeah, that was done. But that was March, April, May, about 2 months after I initially published the book, so it was a bit slow coming. But also in February, I also, around a week later from releasing The New Neighbours, I re-released The Wilted Rose, my very first novel that I first published back in 2010. I re-released that through the Amazon channels as well, which was really exciting to have that available again, because it had previously been published by a self-publishing company that I had spent about $1,800 approximately probably more than that after the second print that I did. Yeah, I spent quite a bit of money getting that published through that company. So I now republished that through Amazon. So and it was the first occasion that The Wilted Rose had been published as an ebook as well, because previously I'd only published it as a paperback. So that was very exciting. And then nothing really happened. Then obviously I had the online launch for The New Neighbours in April, and then in early June I finally got organised and published 4 of the 8 short stories that are featured in The New Neighbours as individual Kindle ebooks. So they are now available to download as individual Kindle ebooks from the Kindle store for 99 cents, which is really exciting. And I've recently published a couple more of those stories, so now basically I think about 7 of the 8 stories are available from The New Neighbours. They're all available as individual Kindle ebooks, which is really exciting. I'm really glad that they're all up there now individually. So that happened. And then what was next? Oh, of course, the Byron Bay Writers Festival, which was very exciting. Well, the Byron Writers Festival, I should say, was really exciting to take part in August. July was a very busy month preparing for that. It was incredibly stressful because I had planned to publish my latest book, Pay to Dance, Stripping Past and Present. I'd planned to publish that when was that? In a couple, like towards the end of August. However, getting the news that I was going to be going down to the Byron Writers Festival, I decided to bring the publishing of that book forward. So I was in a huge rush to try and get all of that finalised and get books sent to me, sent to the festival for sale, and it was just a big stress pot of a month pretty much. A lot of learning experiences though, and being down there at my very first Writers Festival was an absolutely amazing experience, and I hope to be able to do it again this year in August 2017. So in September as well, following on from the first book of the Pay to Dance series, I sent the next manuscript from the Pay to Dance series along to my editor in Tasmania for editing, and she came back and that was ready to go. I worked on that to get that ready, and I'm actually preparing to get that all formatted and ready to be published in a couple of weeks' time. It's sneaking up on me very, very quickly. I don't even have any of it formatted or anything yet, but it will be ready for publishing on the February the 3rd or the 5th. I'm not too sure, but I'll confirm that later on. So yeah, very exciting times there ahead. Also, obviously, a lot of you will be aware that I used The Wilted Rose to do a lot of promotion for mental health over some events last year. In October, there was Mental Health Week here in Australia. There was also International Mental Health Day, but we had Mental Health Week here, and ran my very first giveaway of the Wilted Rose book, and promoted a selection of mental health organisations that I was in contact with when I was writing The Wilted Rose, and did a lot of research on them. Also repeated that process in November when it was Perinatal Depression and Anxiety Awareness Week. It's a bit of a mouthful. I also repeated that process and did another giveaway there as well during that week, which was really exciting, and I'm definitely going to be doing that again this year. Over the Christmas period, I did my first Facebook advertising campaign, which was an interesting little experiment. It did help me to attract a few more likes to my Facebook page, my author Facebook page, and a few Kindle sales here and there, which was really awesome as well. It's a start. It was the very first time that I've actually focused and created an official Christmas campaign for my books. Usually, in previous years, I've just sort of thrown up a little post up here and there saying, hey, if anybody's interested in buying my book, think about it for a Christmas gift for someone. But this year it's actually a really concentrated effort, and I'm really happy with what I did, and it was a really good practice for years to come. And yeah, like I've written, I also ran a sale from Boxing Day until for the 7 days after Boxing Day. Didn't get much interest out of that, but that's okay. Like, in overall, it was just a bit of a novelty and a bit of an experiment. So it's really good practice for me, and I'm getting myself out there more. And so that was really fantastic. And I've got a lot of exciting stuff planned. Coming up, there's a few anniversaries coming up for my books. I've obviously got the first anniversary of The New Neighbours, and the Wilted Rose as well, coming up in February, which I'm going to do some little promotions there as well to celebrate the 1 year anniversary of them being published. And then in August, I'll be doing that for Paid to Dance as well, and I'll also be releasing the next book in the Paid to Dance series, Ash's Story Part 1. I'll be releasing that in August. So, actually Part 2. I'll be completing the series in August because the next one is coming in February. So that's also happening, publishing a new book in February. It's a very busy time indeed. So do stay tuned. I'm always really appreciative of everybody that follows me. It's just wonderful and encouraging to have that community around me, and this year I really like to endeavour to give more back to you. So I'd love to hear as well some of your goals for the new year, your writing goals. That'd be really fantastic to hear. You can leave them in the comments. I'd love to have a chat with you about them and see if there's any advice that I can give, or just have a conversation about them. It's always good to do that too. So I wish you all the best with your 2017 goals, your writing goals. Just keep at them and take them one step at a time. That's my best advice to you. And I've got some exciting new plans for blogs coming up in the next couple of weeks, so I will see you then. See you on the next Friday blog post. Bye!